What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and my face is in the wrong side of the screen, but I'll move it just after these introductions. Spawning at the top of the map in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is the Rapl. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Kimo. The map is Anatolia, and I'm excited for this game because it's Anatolia, and I feel like Anatolia is a good map. No matter what you guys say, Anatolia is a good map. Anyways, my face somehow magically moves. Oh, I fly across the screen and we're all good now. And now you can see the wonderful timer here, which you're so complaining about, and it's all better and we're having a fantastic time. The other thing I'm going to do is this crazy thing here, where I push this and I do this, and now we move around the screen a little bit slower so that you don't get dizzy, and I feel good about myself. Anyways, Kimo at the bottom, you know all about Kimo. He's still playing this game relatively frequently at a very high level, and he is rolling in with the Isis in this game. He loves Isis on Anatolia. I'm not sure if they chose to play this map or what, but Rapl and Kimo, Isis, Odin on Anatolia. Now, Rapl has been having some issues against Isis over the past year or so, maybe even a little bit longer, basically as players have started getting better at utilizing the Anubite. Rapl has been struggling more and more. And the big reason for this is Odin has got no solid counter in the second age to the Anubite. Odin does have access to the Valkyrie, which is technically a counter to the Anubite, but when you see it in practical sense, it really doesn't feel like it's any good. Now, the options for you against Anubis is mostly just wall, semi-fast, heroic, and you kind of play a little bit from behind. Definitely still possible to win those games, but it's definitely a hard one, and you have to really think about the matchup differently, because Isis is no longer this economic powerhouse if she goes for Anubis, but a lot of people just see Isis one-dimensionally and they can't get past that. But we aren't on an Anubite map here. We are on Anatolia. So if we are going to see Anubis, it's more so for the Plague of Serpents and getting aggressive on the water with the cabinets and everything like that. But we'll see how this is all going to go. We've already got the dock up for Rapl. For Kimo, he's on the same side over here. He's got his 3 or 4 fishing ships already out over here. On the other side of the map, we do have another dock for Kimo coming up already. The big advantage for Isis on this map over the other gods, the Egyptian gods not so much, but over the other gods, is that Isis can get 2 docks up very, very cheaply. 50 gold a piece, and you move over and you can get access to all 18 fishing ships or fishing spots very, very quickly with a very competitive classical age time. If you are an Isis player or an Egyptian player, I would recommend seriously jumping into some single-player games against the AI and working out the build, because I keep seeing this shenanigans from our Egyptian players. There is no need to do this. We want max 5 villagers on wood, if not 4 villagers on wood first, and then we put our villagers on gold. This allows us to get to the classical age at 5:15. Your wood villagers are continuously you're continuously putting wood villagers after you get the gold, and that's going to get your fishing ships out. You're going to keep building fishing ships as you advance to the next age, and you get purse scene immediately. Purse scene is equal to, if you have 18 fishing ships, it's 30%. It's something like 6 extra fishing ships. So getting purse scene out as soon as you possibly can is very important. So delaying your classical age is a big, big mistake here for Isis. Now, for Odin, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure Odin, I know Thor can do this, but Thor can do a 5-minute classical age with 18 fishing ship. Odin, on the other hand, a little bit slower, I would say, because he has to build an extra ox cart that Thor doesn't have to. But we are seeing roughly a 5:15. Very competitive time here for Rapl, and Rapl should continuously build more fishing ships as this is coming along. Fish up all of this, get purse scene immediately, live the dream. We'll see what he's going to do if he does go that way. Kimo, on the other hand, throwing up his temple, and it's looking to be closer. This is looking to be closer to a 5:30 with some idle town center time, maybe a 5:45 even, for Kimo here, as his temple just pops up. So it's about 30 seconds behind. That puts his purse scene 30 seconds behind, which means he loses out on 6 fishing ships, maybe you're losing out on about 100, 200 food. Is that about right? Maybe 150 food you're losing out on by doing this build. But that's just his choice, and I'll complain about it forever. Anyways, we've got these villagers over here mining the gold. We've got a monument to the villagers coming up, jumping all over onto wood. So it is looking like Kimo is going to be going for what looks to be a semi-fast heroic with cabinets being produced. And this is the standard here for Isis. And now the big reason why Isis is so much stronger than say Set, or well, maybe not so much Set, but more like Ra on this map, is access to Ancestors Eclipse. This god power puts you so far in front into the fact that the most important part is controlling the middle of the map. The gold mines are all in the middle of the map here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, whatever. I missed count. Six gold mines in the middle. If you control the middle of the map here with Isis against anyone, chances are you're going to have a very, very strong showing in the game. Now, if we check out over here, Rapl should have per scene already. Kimo should be investing in his per scene immediately, which he is, and he's going to be getting that one through. So we're going to be continuing in this game very, very smoothly. Valkyrie is coming through, and we do see the first longboat out now for Rapl. Now, the question is, what is Rapl going to be going for here? He's got double ox cart or triple ox carts here. He's moving on to a secondary wood line, and he is going to be pumping out those boats. Now, Rapl can get a lot of Herso going in the classical age and get a competitive heroic age if he so chooses. Just depends on how many Ursa he really wants to get, and this does defend him very, very well from an Ancestors Eclipse on his economy. So we are seeing the first little engagement here as Rapl is pushed back, simply garrisoning those fishing ships. Very, very simple here for Kimo. As we're seeing the Sphinx roaming around here. Rapl's Valkyrie is in here already, so he's going to be able to jab at this one. Nice little micro there from Rapl to pull away. But the Herso's kind of in the way here. I think it's almost worth it to just fight this and then run once the Skraeling is very close to low HP, because then the Sphinx has to run away and everything's very good. We do see the cabinet raid now coming through for Kimo. Nice micro here, but he is underneath. Oh, he's actually dodging the dock fire there, and Rapl's not paying attention on this front here. He does turn around, going to be continuously fighting this one. Very low HP over here. Meanwhile, on this side, Kimo still just says, I'm just not going to fish on here. I get a couple of cabinets out and I'm going to just chill. He does not want to push forward here, though, but he is going to be running straight into Rapl's forces over here. Meanwhile, we do have this cheeky cabinet going to try and take down the fishing ship. We've got a cheeky dock down the back here as well, as the longboat there does fall for Rapl, as Kimo is in a very, very good position. This cheeky dock is something I very much like here from Kimo. So nice play there. He's actually got access to another 3 fish if he so chooses. Now, Kimo casts himself Prosperity. Another reason, yet again, why Isis is so good on this map. This Prosperity helps him catch up on the gold that he doesn't have in order to get to the next age. I would say that it is better to be casting this about a minute earlier than Kimo is casted here. And that's going to allow him to get more like a more like an 8:30 or even 8-minute heroic age with everything he's done here thus far. But hasn't done that, so it's going to be a little bit delayed, which also means that Rapl will be able to go to the heroic age very, very quickly. I wouldn't be surprised to see Njord here, but I do think that Skadi is your better option, just on the fact that defending with the Frost is a lot better, and potentially catching some villagers out as well, that it's going to be good. And then also, you're going to be less likely to really want to hold on to the water, because you're going to have Winter Harvest, get that food income for the late game on your farms if we are going there. But Rapl is deciding to go through Njord. This will give him access to a Kraken, which should spawn on this side of the map, which may allow Rapl to just push through this location here. It also gives him access to Walking Woods, which is nothing to be trifled with. And considering how low gold the Isis player will normally be at this point in the game, he might be okay, because he has to invest in a town center, he has to invest in a Migdol stronghold, and those extra priests are costly. So if he wants to go for those things, he's going to need those priests out first. So fixing that ordering there, slowing down the opponent's economy, might be worth it here. We'll see if Rapl's going to be able to make that one work in this game. How many Herso does he have out right now? He's got a bunch of Herso out, 4 Herso here, got a couple more coming through, Mountain Giant and Kraken spawn, 110 population immediately here. Might want to consider just simply grabbing the town center first. Alternatively, getting up a hill fort wouldn't be a bad idea. Meanwhile, Kraken's pushing through as the cabinets are pushing through, and we do see an immediate Kraken built here by Rapl. This is going to be huge. This Kraken lasts for ages in this fight here. He's got 69% pierce armor, and that's because he's going to be taking these boats underwater to play with him for the majority of this game, right? Anyways, Kimo does have to retreat here. He's not going to be able to deal with this. He might actually have to invest in Mythic Fleet. Is that what it's called? Heroic Fleet? Heroic Fleet gives him the extra 15% bonus damage versus myth units if he wants to try and hold on. He does have the Leviathan on this side, the free Leviathan, which can help take down the Kraken very, very easily. Nice micro here from Rapl to be avoiding that, and the Hill Fort is the option here from Rapl. I like the decision to go for the Hill Fort first instead of the town center. Meanwhile, we've got Scorpion Men in the base of Rapl. Rapl not paying attention. He's losing one villager. He's going to start losing more villagers over here. This is very cheeky from Kimo as we see Ancestors Eclipse in the main base here from Kimo. This is vintage ISIS abuse at its finest here. What you want to do with these ancestors is take the town center down, allow your Scorpion Men to chase these around, but we do see the Herso coming in, so it's probably not that good of an idea to go up to the town center at this point, but he will get a bunch of villager kills here, and Rapl is going to be in a very, very difficult position. Even though the Herso are here doing a lot of damage, we're still seeing this minion over here getting more kills over on Rapl. Rapl over here does have the Hill Fort, has managed to take down one of those units, one of those pharaohs there, and all of these mythic units have been picked off though by Rapl. He's still got Kimo's still got 3 minions left. He's still doing some very, very big damage here in this game, but the question really is, what can Rapl do now? Rapl has managed to win this side of the water, it looks like. I don't know if we've got more units getting built over here. We do have some cabinets still getting built, but for the most part, oh, maybe he hasn't quite won it. He's actually been kind of picked off everything. Meanwhile, we've got the villagers moved up onto this gold mine. We've got elephants being made by Kimo. I don't love the elephants on this map. I much prefer going in with mass spearman chariot, axeman vibes against Norse. These elephants may be able to take down the hill fort, but the thing is, right now, Rapl has lost his economy. His economy is absolutely shot, but his army is still very much alive. So Rapl is going to go for a counter push here, trying to push through this Migdol stronghold, push off this location. We've got some priests coming through now for for Kimo, as Rappel's Mountain Giant is now under siege. The forest fire coming through for Rapl. Absolutely love this forest fire here from Rapl. It's going to take down the Migdol stronghold even faster and open up this map over here. So these villagers will have to leave this gold mine. We see another longhouse coming down on this position here. These elephant are going to be doing some very, very good damage here. However, they're just not attacking at all. They're just kind of wandering around here, trying to think about what they want to do. But it's looking as if the mining camp gets taken down. Villagers have to retreat away here as Kimo is back into his main base. We do see a market up for Kimo in his main base, as well as he's potentially thinking about going to the Mythic Age through Osiris in order to help him survive the Jarl onslaught that is coming his way. We do not see Ring Giver coming through for Rapl just yet, though he does have a lot of favor in the bank. This is one of the bad things about going through Njord in this game, is that you do not get access to those gold-based myth units, as we are seeing these cabinets taking more and more of the villagers out in this location, potentially seeing a second town center now getting grabbed here by Rapl in the near future, still taking more of these units down. And Kimo now just on the back foot. We've got 3 barracks now coming up, as we'll start seeing that barracks army being made. Obviously, spearmen, axemen here, or just pure spearmen maybe even wouldn't be a bad idea, but he does need to start investing into heavy spearmen if he can get there, if he has the resources. I'm not sure what he's got here. He's getting those upgrades. He's got a lot of villagers idle in his town center, and he's got a decent amount of gold left in his home base. Honestly, he's got a decent amount of gold. He just needs to get these villagers back to work, mine this up, get full population, get access to a second town center, and then make a big push for a gold mine here. But at this point, it's looking like Rapl is saying, no, stay away from me. I am going to continue to hold in this position. as Rapl retreating back or away from the ISIS army. He's got his town center here. He does need to start thinking about food. He's got 8 villages on food and a lot on gold and wood. Obviously, he does have access to that Huskal army if he wants to go in for it. But with the access of axemen here for Kimo, I'm not sure why he's got 8 villages in his army running around. But I think Kimo is kind of a little bit confused here. He's not 100% sure what he wants to do. 16 idle villages in his town center, 8 idle villages or 9 idle villages in his army currently. He's moving forward onto this gold mine. I want to try and grab that one. I do think that pushing through on this location is going to be a little bit easier. We do see a temple now coming up for Rapl as he is making his way in this game. We do see a siege works coming down now for Kimo as Kimo is pushing forward, going to be getting this mining camp up. And he wants to grab this, but I do think that it would be much simpler to just like start that trade route. But Rapl is way in front here. He's throwing up his longhouses on this location. I'd love to see some walls going down. He's got a lot of gold in the bank. No way to spend that. You might want to throw up a market actually and just buy food here for the time being. You can see you can buy food for very, very cheap at this point. But meanwhile, we see a hill fort going down as these villages over here are getting pushed off the gold mine. The Raven map hacks coming through clutch here for Rapl as he does see the vast majority of this map. He doesn't know that these markets are going up over here. He must have missed Kimo walking past here, as we are seeing a cheeky raid onto this town center. These walking pines are brutal. 18 crush damage with the help of this mountain giant. This town center goes down so absurdly fast. But Kimo is trading it for this push in the middle of the map, taking down all of these food-based units that Rapl's got here. These spearmen doing very, very nicely. I would like to see just a little bit more micro of the axemen onto units not named Jarl, and he would be in a very, very good position here, but he's not doing it, and he does win the fight, and he will get his town center up. But now Rapl going for the main base of Kimo. We do see some priests coming over here, but these houses go down so absurdly quickly here as the mountain giant starts kicking away at this house. These walking pines going after the priest. Actually incredibly smart here from Rapl because they do 7 hack damage as well, so it's basically like they're a hoplite taking down a priest here as the priests have to retreat back. And even going to be losing some herdables here. We just see cheeky raid now coming over onto this gold mine with these units getting pumped out. Rapl still only 13 villages on food here. He's got a bunch of villages on the herdables. Does he have access to husbandry? He does. He's got bowsaw. He's got shaft mine. His economy is actually looking very, very potent here. Throwing up double hill fort on this location. The question is, will he be able to delay for long enough, or will these hill forts get up? But I do think these units could push in and put some very good pressure over here, but more villages falling here for Kimo as he's trying to come over onto one of these gold locations. He's going to spot Rapl's gold mining operation in this position here, but Rapl's still got a little bit of gold. No, he's just about out, so we could get into a very, very spicy situation as Kimo now hits the Mythic Age through Osiris. He's going to have his Son of Osiris. He's going to have security of these locations very, very shortly. This gold mine here, this gold mine here, this gold mine here. Probably over here is the best one for him to go, but he does have a decent security of this one with the double hill fort on this location. And the question is going to be, when will Rapl be able to get to the Mythic Age himself? We all know how potent the Son of Osiris is against the Norse civilization. And right now, Kimo is just coming through, annihilating these villages of Rapl here as he has to run away, but he's just not able to get away. And that's absolutely brutal here for Rapl. And I don't know what answer he's going to have here. Is he going to the next age? No, he's got his market up. He can buy food up the wazoo here. Look at that, 59 food per 100 gold right now. Could be a good idea. He can also sell the wood as well. Going after this Migdol stronghold. The villagers trying to repair it, but no pharaoh inside. I mean, there's the Son of Osiris over here, but no empowerment onto the Migdol to keep this one up, and he will take down this location here. We've now got mercenary cavalry coming through as Kimo is holding onto this position, attempting to hold onto this position, but the Son of Osiris now gets surrounded. What a play here from Rapl, as Kimo is going to be losing this big advantage in this game, but somehow the Son of Osiris is sneaking away. No, it gets completely trapped here, and Kimo loses his Son of Osiris after about a minute of having it. The value from that Son of Osiris completely thrown away, and Rapl now turning the tides of this battle completely in his favor, taking down the town center and destroying any kind of hopes for Kimo to have an easy victory here in this game. What a play from Rapl. Now the question is, we've got mummies coming in, we've got priests coming in. This gold mine here is running out of gold. Kimo is over on this gold mine at this point, but he's on 2 town centers. He's at 113 population, has a lot of resources in the bank to play with at this point. He does need to micro those mummies much better onto those mountain giants, but he's not doing it. Now we've got the flood of infantry coming through for Rapl, going to be trying to take down these axemen, these spearmen, and everything else in between, as the priests do manage to take down one of those mountain giants here. This mummy just about to get another charge here, but Rapl going to be retreating his mountain giant here, keeping that one alive, and we will be seeing the fortified town center getting taken down here. Nice play from Kimo to be distracting this one here, but Rapl going to be reacting to it, sends forward his villagers. He might be able to trade at least a little bit of resources here. Yes, the town center costs 700 resources, but these catapults, that's 400 each. If he kills off 2, it's kind of like it's an equal trade. 4 HP left in the fortified town center, and it will fall now as now Kimo is kind of okay here, but these villagers will be able to take out another catapult, so it's kind of an even trade, but he's still chasing the other catapult. He needs to kind of retreat now, as all of these units for Kimo are still falling here. 111 population to Rapl's 140 population, but Rapl's economy is so stretched thin right now. He needs to keep this pressure up, keep the advantage that he's got military-wise, and try and make something of it here. We do see these Pentacontas, or ramming galleys I should say, coming through, taking down some more of the fishing economy of Rapl, not allowing him to have an easy time food-wise here. Kimo, on the other hand, he is short, very much so short on gold. He's got the 3 markets pumping his trade route out now, as he's going to try and I guess solidify his position here, making sure he can have all the gold he needs to hold on. We've seen Kimo hold 2 versus 4 town centers time and time again, and he's going to have to do that this game, it seems like, as Rapl now moving in, wants to try and take down some of these villages. The villagers getting pulled off the line here, going to be attempting to fight this one. There's no answer to the throwing axemen in this fight. Obviously, the axemen are technically an answer here. If there were a meat shield, or if he path blocked those axemen from getting onto throwing axemen, he probably would have won that fight pretty hard there, but he will have to retreat here. Kimo's stabilizing. Kimo's actually also on this gold mine cheekily still, as we're starting to see the town center coming up for Rapl, as he thinks that this town center may be a little bit more important for him for the time being. And the big weakness right now in Rapl's position is he's got no trade route. He is chucking up a sneaky wall here, stopping the trade route in its tracks here. Looks like these units can't really get through. I mean, the axemen can get through, but he's going to have to clean up these longhouses. One thing that Egyptian players might want to consider doing in these situations where your opponent throws down 2 longhouses here is you just grab a bunch of villages. Just grab some of these villages here. Over here. Just grab these villages, bring them over here, and then click on this. But he does have a siege works here, so he's going to be able to take this down fairly simply nonetheless. Now, we've got the axemen pushing forward here. Spearmen getting taken out. Axemen getting taken out. The Jarl coming through, going to take down the Pharaoh on this location. We see some more Valkyrie coming through for Rapl, who is definitely struggling for gold in this position here. But he's got the throwing axemen. He's got the position to go in here. Now we've got villagers moving forward for Kimo. Villagers are actually a decent try here against the throwing axemen, considering he's not really making any of those slingers here. The Valkyrie going to get taken down very, very quickly here with the Pharaoh in the back. We see the villagers jumping onto the settlement. The settlement is still slowly going up in HP, but maybe it's not. We see Scorpion Man coming in. This may turn the tides of this battle here, as the Valkyrie and Scorpion Man kind of trade equally in a way, but The Scorpion Man does win out just slightly. Now we've got some more mercenary coming forward. The catapult coming in to get some serious damage done onto the settlement to prevent it from coming up. Kimo, on the other hand, still very, very low on the gold here. 117 population, 900, nearly 1,000 wood in the bank for him. He is not able to keep this fight going in this position here, as the Valkyrie and the Axeman are starting to get taken down. The numbers are very, very low here at this stage of the game. And Rapl, Kimo is still just throwing small amounts of units here into this fight. And he does finally decide to retreat away. A couple of mercenary cavalry here still coming through. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you do not auto-queue your mercenary cavalry from your town center. You decide how many you're going to build, and you stick with that number. And if you want to build more, you build more. Anyways, we are seeing the villagers now jump over onto the catapult of Kimo here. So these axemen are getting sniped down. The throwing axemen jumping onto the settlement, trying to get that one up. The mercenary cavalry does fall here, as the 4th town center is going to be coming through for Rapl very, very shortly. I'm a little bit surprised here, to be honest. I would have thought Mythic Age over getting 4 town centers would have been maybe the safer play here. We are seeing yet again another cheeky raid here from Kimo to take this one down. I love that play here. We are seeing a 3rd hill fort on this location coming through. These mercenary cavalry raids starting to come in, being a little bit pesky. But you can just pull over onto this gold mine here. We still only 21 villagers on food with some very poor farming placement here. We do have irrigation and husbandry though, so his food economy should be okay. He just needs a little bit more. He's got a lot of villagers on wood as well, Rapl does, so he can consider just chucking down longhouses kind of everywhere. Meanwhile, we do have the gold mine sneak over here, but with the Raven sitting on top of this location here, he's going to know about it for a very, very long time. So we see the Valkyrie sniping down a villager with the help of the Ulf Jarl here. Meanwhile, the fight continuing on this position. Kimo's still not... Well, actually, Kimo is full population here, so he's going to be happily moving in. We've got the Migdol stronghold now on this location. His towers are starting to come down, and like I've said, we've seen this time and time again from Kimo. If he can get these towers up, he's going to be in a very, very good position. We're seeing this Pharaoh do absolute work against those myth units here in this game. As these axemen are slowly creeping in here, we do see this hill fort under fire yet again, as the mercenary cavalry are going to be pushing in onto this location. Maybe take some of these units down, or they're actually doing a fucking stellar job here, just tanking those throwing axemen. Look at that hack armor, 41% with 247 HP. You basically have to ignore them in these fights and just let them deal their 15.2 DPS here. Meanwhile, we see nice micro from Kimo here. He's got a micro away from those Jarls to take down this mountain giant. He probably does have... Oh, he doesn't have... He doesn't have funeral rites. I'm a bit surprised about it. I thought he did have funeral rites, considering how much damage the priests were doing, but maybe that's just because the mountain giants have no armor. But these towers coming through, almost up to 2 towers here on this location. Do we have crenellations? No, but we do have iron weapons. We have iron weapons here, and Rapl has got nearly nothing, but he does have a ring giver. So these Jarls are 270 HP. It's a lot. It's a lot of HP. He's trying to retreat this mountain giant. He's just a little bit confused about where he wants to walk, as he's kind of doing a little bit of a shimmy there into the longhouse. But town center about to get secured here by Kimo. And the question is, how's Rapl's economy doing? It's still... Ooh, now Rapl's got the 33 villagers on food that he really needed to have. His food is going to start looking very, very good. And he's going for Jarls here. So as Kimo's transitioning more into chariot archers, he's going to have to deal with these Jarls. And really the only answer to even heavy ring giver Jarls is crenellation towers. And he is going in with them, but he doesn't have crenellations just yet. Now he does. And with the fully upgraded towers, these Jarls become useless on those positions. So that's what Kimo needs to do to be in a half decent position here. And then the question is, will he be able to keep these towers up? We do see barracks coming up on the front here. Still more axemen coming through, and axemen are not the answer anymore. You got to look at your opponent's composition and decide what you need to make, and it is definitely spearmen or cavalry. At this point, probably better would be heavy spearmen or champion spearmen here. Though he did go Osiris, so he can get Desert Wind cavalry or camelry and feel pretty good about his trades. Maybe, I don't know. But town center is on the way now for Kimo. and he will be able to secure that one. He's in the mythic age. He's feeling great about himself, and we are seeing Balder coming through for Rapl. And here's the thing that is beautiful about this Balder timing. One, Rapl's got a ton of villagers, but more importantly is he's got Jarl. If he can get himself heavy Jarl here while he's advancing, he will be able to completely massacre any axeman being built, and they're not going to be able to do anything, and that's going to allow those Heroes of Ragnarok to just completely push through and completely annihilate Kimo's position here, as we are seeing the hill fort going down very, very slowly to these axemen, and it does end up going down. We have champion axemen through, but champion axemen have all fallen yet again. Kimo's got a lot of resources in the bank, a lot of food, a lot of gold, not a lot of wood. But I'm really not sure how he's going to be able to hold this push here. Did we see... Oh, we got Levy Barracks soldiers coming through for Kimo as well, as he wants to just pump some more. Do we have any decent upgrades for these Rams? No upgrades for him, but he is going to be continuously pumping them out, and he can go for side raids on this location. We've even got the Mountain Giants over here as well, as we start seeing the towers come through, as Kimo has preemptively realized that kind of the only way he loses this game at this point is a Balder timing push here, and we will be seeing those villagers popping through to their resources very soon here, and we will be seeing that Balder coming through. 338 population here. Engineers coming through for Rapl. We've got more Mountain Giants being made, and this is going to be a tough one for Kimo to defend. Does he have Masons? He has Masons. He has Fortified Town Center. Will we see Architects? Architects is on the way, so that's going to be a huge help for Kimo, as we are seeing these Heroes of Ragnarok circling around on this location. Meanwhile, moving forward onto this town center, definitely want to stop that trade route as fast as you can here, as all of these towers are not up yet. We've got 5 towers being made, but only 1 is up, and they are all targeting down the Mountain Giant here, so this is basically a free town center to be grabbed here. We've got the engineered portable rams now coming through, going to take down this fortified town center so ridiculously fast. Kimo is still at full population for the time being, but Rapl is at 283, has dropped nearly 60 population thus far, but he's still got a commanding army lead here. Lots of resources in the bank, but no trade set up. Oh no, he's got trade set up as well, so this is barely even all in at this point. He does need to get damage done. He can't just delete his entire army, but this is barely all in. He's taken down this town center. He can get that town center up, and he's going to have 4 town centers to produce from, plus 2 markets. That's 6 town centers in total. You can get up to crazy amounts of villagers incredibly quick. I think it was 15 seconds per villager. I can't do the math quickly at all, but 24 villagers a minute. You can get up, you basically 3 minutes and you're back to population. Or back to like a decent amount of population here. So we are seeing these units now moving forward, going to take down the laborers here, take down the barracks, take down the Migdal stronghold, do all of the good stuff. Meanwhile, this gate is going to be getting taken down as well. Over here has been thwarted for the time being here. And the gate does get taken out. Moving forward here, as we will be starting to see some of these camel caravans getting sniped as well. Potentially, you can just throw down a bunch of towers here. He's got the resources for this, and I do love seeing the kind of Ragnarok tower shenaniganry. But he is pushing forward here with these Rag heroes in onto this position here. These camel caravans. He's got so many. This is so Kimo here. Just says, I don't care. I'm just going to build 10 billion Heroes of Ragnaroks. So we are seeing these guys pushing forward, and the Pharaoh does get taken out. These villagers chucking up a siege works here. Not sure exactly what that's for. He's got one already here. Second siege works doesn't really help him in this position. But as we say, these villagers are pumping out of almost all of his town centers. And he's also got a beautiful trade. It's not like a good trade route, but he's got a healthy amount of ox caravans. So any sort of resources that Rapl will be hurting here aren't really a thing. And it's going to turn into a 4-2 town center situation as well, with Rapl getting some serious damage done to Kimo's trade route. We do see these axemen coming through, going to try and clean this up, but deleting the markets here, as we see a market coming over onto the other side for Kimo. Going to try and secure that side of the game, of the map, I should say. So we are seeing these siege works getting taken out. The Heroes of Ragnarok going to be retreating away. Rapl still 155 of 180 population. He is doing this resupply of economy very, very well. And this is something to learn from 110%. If you are an avid Norse player, definitely check this one out, because Rapl is showing you how it's done, as he is starting to produce from all of his town centers. And he can also do this thing where he buys food to get this going even faster. 33 gold for 100 food is super worth it. So definitely want to consider clicking that button. If you're feeling like you're not producing these villages fast enough. But also, you have to remember, we had irrigation and we had husbandry. So flood control helps out a lot with Norse. So it doesn't have that one, but it's still very, very good. Anyways, we've got the wall coming up over here for Kimo. Ooh, a cheeky transport ship. 7 villages in the transport ship. I love transport ships on maps like Anatolia, Midgard, and Mediterranean. It's so much fun seeing them utilized. Anyways, we are seeing these portable rams coming through. Going to try and take down the barracks here, as these fire giant taking down the axemen as well. So many fire giant. Oh, it's disgusting. There's no good answer to these fire giant. You make a mummy. A mummy kills one of them, and then the mummy gets taken out by the rest of the fire giant and probably gets replaced with another one. Rapl is just saying, get out of my game, Kimo. I've got portable rams. I've got fire giant up the wazoo. And I've got these Heroes of Ragnarok ready to take everything down. And now Rapl can start going back in with those Ulf Jarls, which should probably be great Jarls by now as well. But the town center gets taken down. We have these baluster towers, which will go down very fast as well. Do these priests have funeral rites yet? They do have funeral rites, but you have to actually click on the fire giant for them to really do anything, as more fire giants are coming in. We've got 8 fire giants here, plus the portable rams, 6 portable rams. I do want to see some Jarls getting made yet again, but Rapl's not doing that. We do see a cheeky catapult raid coming in over onto this location. Meanwhile, these villages have popped up at the top of the map as Kimo is trying to find a way back into this game. But Rapl is saying, no, no, no. I have got the control here. Does need to take down that Bubba Joe the second. That's amazing that he's only really lost 1 Bubba Joe here. As we are seeing the temple trying to get taken down. Fire Giant gets taken down. The units will be retreating away for the time being here, as Rapl needs to regroup himself as he's lost a few too many units here. And we are now starting to see the raiding cavalry coming in. Bit surprised to see raiding cavalry, especially because we've got these towers here. I think Jarls at the very least, because you got Ring Giver, is going to survive just a little bit better. But the raiding cavalry, not so much. Very good at this point when you have access to them. But anyways, the portable ram's going to try and take down these towers yet again. And look at this trade route. Look at this trade route for Kimo. He's getting none. No gold. No gold from that trade route there. So very, very nice. There is a crazy thing that Kimo could try and chuck a market up here and send that from the top of the map down to the bottom. There is a Raven here, so it will spot it, but it's crazy nonetheless. And we will be seeing these towers slowly getting taken down as now Rapl can start thinking about grabbing this town center for himself, putting a hill fort down on this location. Rapl's got tons of economy, 32 villages on food, 31 on wood, plus the trade route that he has established, sitting at 180 of 180 population. Somehow Kimo's score is still relatively close in this game, but it is looking as if he is absolutely toast here. Just no temple, no favor income. We've got 1 monument to the priests left and 1 monument to the villagers. So I tell you a lie, he does have some favor left, so he can make some mummies if he had the gold to do so. But he just does not. And Kimo's at 100. He's at full population. And he just can't do anything. These camel caravans are 30 plus population of nothing here. That's funny. It does kind of look like his gold income is going up slightly. Oh, they're getting 5 gold each. Okay. Some of them are getting something. Fair enough. I don't understand how it works, but okay. Kimo holding on for the very, very last moment here before deciding to tap out. He says, I still got a town center left. I've still got hope in this game. We see this house coming up over here for Kimo. He's rebuilt his barracks. Rapl just going to pull back for a second, regroup. He is kind of low on the gold. He still hasn't got any real upgrades for his units here. Because these double Pharaoh now out for Kimo. That's going to help out a lot, actually. Funnily enough, this is a free unit here, which is bonkers good. Now we will be seeing Rapl deciding to push back in yet again. Has the portable rams now. There's no real answer for them here, as he's going to take down these towers very, very quickly. These axemen here don't do well against the portable rams. Only 8 damage at fully upgraded with iron weapons per second against these rams that have 258 HP. So it's just going to be a slow, arduous process for them to fall. But the villagers are coming in, as now we're starting to see this town center getting taken down very, very quickly. The Pharaoh here getting taken down by the fire giants, mind you. Does take a while and does lose 2 fire giants there. He's only got 2 left, as the other Pharaoh needs to get taken down. It's got very low HP, 23 HP to be exact. One more shot on that one will take it down, but he doesn't need it. The town center does fall. That puts a stop to the mercenary. The town center will be attempting to come back up yet again. But with the Rams here, he will continuously take this down. Still hasn't gone after this town center. Rapl still with good economy in the bank. A little bit short on population here, as he's like, get out of my game, Kimo. Just hit the surrender button. As he does put a stop to it yet again, as Kimo's now got 283 gold in the bank. All of these camel caravans idle with nowhere to go. The Ballaster Tower getting taken down as well here. 1 HP left on the Pharaoh, as the raiding cavalry trying to sneak in and get that shank there. Just has not managed to do it yet. Still keeping the town center down. Rapl is just about to put Kimo to sleep here in this game. He's trying to get this tower up here. He's like, if I get the tower up, maybe I can hold. As the Jarls still coming through. And I think Kimo's having a fantastic time here. He's trying to play tower defense. But in the end of the day, 96 population is a lot less than 180 population here. And you see some more villagers getting sniped down. More spearmen. Town center trying to come up for Kimo. There is still this 1 HP Pharaoh that is just remaining here, getting serious work done for its HP value. And there's just like next to no villagers left for Kimo here. How many does he have? 7 villagers on this location. None up here anymore. No villagers anywhere else. 1 villager idle on this location. And no income anywhere for Kimo here. We're seeing more of these units dying, and I mean, Rapl can simply just sit out the front of these barracks, and that's exactly what he's doing, as Kimo does end up tapping out here in the 40th the 40th minute of this game. What a fantastic game here by both players. Kimo, funnily enough, Kimo played this decently, but like the Ancestors Eclipse onto this location is perfect, but then he went in with Elephant. And now Elephant they're a siege unit that is very tanky. They're really good for pushing your opponent. They're really bad at defending. What's good at defending are those cheap barracks units. Had Kimo said, I see you going Yord, I see you going Jarls and raiding cavalry, I'm going to go Spearman and Priest here, that would save Kimo gold on a Migdol. That would give him 4 priests, and it would allow him to build more priests because he's not spending all of that gold on the elephants that he built. And if he had that, he wouldn't have lost as much out on the counter push that Rapl had put onto him, and he would have been in a really, really good position. But then after that, all of the chaos of this game, both players playing immaculately. The Son of Osiris pick from Rapl was out of this world good. Let's check the post game out here and check the military. Kimo with 470 units killed, 631 lost. That tells a big story here, considering how far in front Kimo must have been on the resources. He was just not able to hold on after that Ragnarok there from Rapl. GG, well played. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.